Sleeping Beauty, 2011, movie synopsis by Zillur Movies Recapped. Lucy, Emily Browning, is a college pupil who holds quite a few odd jobs. She volunteers as a take-a-look-at topic on the college medical analysis lab, works at a espresso store, and makes photocopies at an workplace. She additionally attends a high-class bar, providing herself as a intercourse associate. Her landlord dislikes her, and she or he spends her time visiting an aloof man, Birdman, Ewan Leslie, who's drawn to her, and although she does not return the love, she seems happier with him than at every other time. Lucy responds to an advert and is invited to fulfill Clara, Rachel Blake, who describes the job, freelance silver service in lingerie. Lucy agrees and Clara tells her that she is going to by no means be penetrated throughout these encounters. Clara says she is going to name Lucy by the title Sarah. Lucy will get magnificence therapies earlier than arriving for the occasion. She is the one woman wearing white lingerie. The opposite girls appear a lot older, have black lingerie, and put on extreme makeup. The occasion is a proper banquet at a chic dwelling. Lucy serves drinks for the get-together and goes dwelling with the cash she constituted of it. After one different session as a serving woman, Lucy will get a name from Clara's assistant Thomas, Eden Falk, for a special request. Lucy is pushed to a rustic mansion. The place Clara informs her that she'll drink some tea after which fall right into a deep sleep. Lucy is seen mendacity in a big mattress, sedated, as Clara leads within the man who hosted the primary banquet. After Clara reminds the person of the no penetration rule, he strips, caresses Lucy's physique, and cuddles up subsequent to her. Lucy is evicted from her room by her landlords. She as a substitute rents a way more costly condo. After 2 extra sleeping classes at Clara's home, Birdman calls her. He has overdosed on medicine, and she or he visits him as he dies. She takes off her shirt and will get in mattress with him, sobbing however making no effort to assist him. At his funeral, Lucy blandly asks a former acquaintance if he'll marry her. Dumbfounded, he refuses, citing his new relationship, and several other character flaws in Lucy. Lucy is fired from her workplace job and buys a small, concealable digicam. She takes medicine with a coworker, goes night swimming with him, and wakes up bare in her condo with him. The following morning, she is hungover and late for her task with Clara. As soon as Lucy arrives, she asks Clara if she will see what occurs through the classes whereas she is asleep. Clara refuses, saying it is going to put her shoppers liable to blackmail. Proper after being positioned on the mattress for the session. Nonetheless, Lucy awakes and removes the small digicam which she had hid in her mouth. She is ready to set the digicam and return to mattress earlier than being found. The consumer is as soon as once more the primary man. However this time, he additionally drinks the tea with a lot bigger dose of the drug. The morning after, Clara is available in and checks the person's pulse, exhibiting no shock when he can't be woke up. She then tries to wake Lucy however is at first unable to take action, finally having to make use of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Lucy awakes and, discovering that the bare man mendacity beside her is lifeless, screams. The film ends with the scene captured by the digicam that Lucy had put in. The lifeless outdated man and the sleeping woman each mendacity on the mattress. Summaries a haunting portrait of Lucy, a younger college pupil drawn right into a mysterious hidden world of unstated needs. Lucy is a college pupil who's working quite a few jobs. She volunteers at an analysis lab, works at a espresso store, and as a photocopy clerk in an workplace. She responds to an commercial and embarks on an erotic freelance job during which she is required to sleep in mattress alone. G-side paying clients. Sleeping Magnificence is a 2011 Australian erotic drama movie written and directed by Julia Lee in her directorial debut. The movie stars Emily Browning as a younger college pupil. She takes up a part-time high-paying job with a mysterious group that caters to wealthy males who like the corporate of nude sleeping younger girls. Lucy is required to sleep alongside paying clients and be completely submissive to their erotic needs, fulfilling their fantasies by voluntarily getting into bodily unconsciousness. The movie relies on influences that embody Lee's personal dream experiences, and the novels The Home of the Sleeping Beauties and Recollections of My Melancholy Horse by Nobel laureates Yasunari Kawabata and Gabriel Garcia Marquez, respectively. The movie premiered in Might on the 2011 Cannes Movie Competition as the primary competitor's entry to be screened. It was the primary Australian movie in competitors at Cannes since Moulin Rouge. 2001, Sleeping Magnificence was launched in Australia on 23 June 2011. It obtained a restricted launch in the US on 2 December 2011. General essential reception of the movie has been combined, rising to some approval via June 2016, after circulation of the movie on the pageant circuit. It isn't like I am not able to appreciating a superb inventive or unique film, quite the opposite actually. However, this film is providing far too little to make it stand out on any degree. Maybe it is true that I am merely getting fed up with these form of motion pictures, since I've seen far too a lot of them already. It is the form of film that is all too properly conscious of its model and realizes very properly it's being a part of the extra inventive, unbiased film style. It is subsequently being similar to every other film out of the style mainly, without providing something new or frightening. It has a really deliberate and properly thought out and deliberate model of film making to it. It does not really feel spontaneous in any means. The film very not often cuts away. When there's a minimize on this film, it implies that the scene is over and one other one, set at one other place, will begin. The Digicam does transfer at instances, however numerous instances the film solely consists purely out of static photographs, with characters sitting or standing within the foreground. It is all too compelled and apparent, and if I desire a front view of actors, with just a few props and units, I am going to go and watch a stage play. The probabilities with motion pictures at the moment are days just about limitless, but the film is doing completely nothing with it. It is minimalistic and sluggish, up to some extent that the film truly begins to turn out to be a little bit of a drag. It manages to make 104 minutes look like a really very long time. So is the film pretentious? It is intentionally making an attempt to be an inventive one, with its pictures and storytelling. However, I would not go so far as saying it is being a pretentious one, since that is director's Julia Lee's first film, and I do imagine all of her intentions with it had been very sincere. Nonetheless, she actually must work on creating a mode of her personal, that basically fits her and the tales she is making an attempt to inform together with her motion pictures. There now nonetheless is nothing that makes her model distinctive from the rest, or distinctive in any means. It additionally would not have harmed the film if she bought a extra skilled screenplay author to come back in and assist to put in writing the story together with her. I truly do really feel and imagine that the story labored properly on paper, however on the silver display it actually falls flat. All of it actually might had nonetheless labored out properly if the film certainly had an intriguing story or foremost character in it. However, the film tries to inform its story extra so with its pictures, slightly than that includes an actual good foremost plot line or feelings in it. It does come throughout a bit as some lazy film making. Don't fret concerning the script or actors, simply place a digicam in a room and let the vacancy and remoteness of the scene inform the entire story. Sorry, I simply actually wasn't falling for that. It does make Emily Browning's function additionally a little bit of an ungrateful one. Ever since she had been showing in motion pictures and sequence as a toddler, it was obvious that she would someday not solely develop into changing into a fantastic lady but in addition a fantastic star and actress. Nevertheless, after seeing her on this film, it additionally turns into obvious that she is not fairly prepared for it to play a lead function and carry a film virtually completely on her personal. However, the entire blame cannot fall completely on her on this case, because it in all probability was director Julia Lee that informed her to play her character as a really distant and emotionally bland one. Critically, she is rarely exhibiting any feelings on her face. You possibly can't actually inform if she is ever blissful or unhappy, and as a viewer it makes your feeling very indifferent from her. That is additionally as a result of she is doing a little very uncommon and unlikely issues on this film. It by no means turns into actually obvious why she does them and why she is the best way that she is. The film is just not actually providing you an exploration right into a younger lady's thoughts and her journey in life, on her means of changing into a real lady. Identical to a lot of its scenes, the film feels largely as a really empty and distant one. And what was with right here sporting the identical sort of garments all through your complete film? She is both sporting a skirt or a gown, with some excessive boots, or she is both half or utterly bare. Nothing unsuitable with exhibiting some pores and skin. However, Emily Browning's physique appears to be like a 13-year outdated, even whereas she was 23 on the time. The garments she was sporting actually did not appear to swimsuit her physique sort, and it truly labored fairly distracting for me. It made me need to ship her some cash, so she might purchase some pants and regular footwear. Some individuals may nonetheless get one thing out of the film its pictures or will learn deeper into among the film its moments. However, personally I bought little or no out of this film. It was a really empty film story-wise and an emotionally bland one, that by the top left nothing greater than a really redundant impression on me. Manufacturing author and director Julia Lee, primarily a novelist, stated in an interview with Filmmaker Journal that she initially wrote the movie without the intention of directing it. In writing the script, Lee drew from a number of literary inspirations, together with Yasunari Kawabata's Home of the Sleeping Beauties and Recollections of My Melancholy Horse by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, in addition to the eponymous fairy tales by Charles Perrault and the Brothers Grimm, and the biblical story of an outdated King Solomon who had younger virgins dropped at him from throughout his realm to sleep alongside him. She additionally famous the phenomenon of pictures of sleeping ladies on among the fetish websites. Kawabata's novel had been tailored in 2006 by German director Vadim Glona, as Das Haus der Schlafenden Shonen, Home of the Sleeping Beauties, however had been launched to typically unfavorable evaluations. The Sleeping Magnificence script made the 2008 blacklisting of unproduced screenplays grabbing consideration in Hollywood. In September 2009 the challenge was accredited for funding from Display Australia. In February 2010 it was introduced that Emily Browning would play the lead function. Mia Wasikowska was initially solid as Lucy, however she dropped out when supplied the title function within the adaptation of Jane Eyre.